France and Ecowas are on the verge of invading Niger. They threaten to invade unless the new military administration released the ousted president by a new deadline. However, the fury of the French and Ecowas militaries will be too much for Niger's troops to bear on its own. For this reason, they turn to some of their allies for assistance, and surprisingly, a nation that no one had anticipated joining Niger chose to stand up for them in the event of an invasion. Russia is the first nation that might support Niger. One of the world's most powerful militaries, Russia may intervene in the current war in Niger, support the coup leader, and prevent him from being detained by France and Ecowas. Why, therefore, will Russia support them? Although not in Niger, the Russian mercenary company Wagner has been operating in the area for a while. They have assisted in the fight against terrorist organizations in Burkina Faso and Mali. As the ECOWAS deadline for releasing the country's overthrown president draws near, the coup leader of Niger recently appealed to the Wagner group for assistance. ECOWAS intends to launch a military intervention, and with Russian support, they may change their minds and withdraw. When General Salifo Modi visited neighboring Mali and spoke with a Wagner group member, he made this request. This backup will undoubtedly be necessary for the Niger coup leader to maintain his position of authority free from ECOWAS or France's meddling. Rumor has it that the Wagner group is taking the request into consideration. Russia will also benefit from this because it coincides with the East and West vying for territory in Africa. The desire to sign agreements and seize Africa is shared by the US and Europe. However, Africans claim to be sick of them. Due to the failure of these long-running agreements, the majority of African nations are now looking east. More than 90% of African heads of state attended a Russia-Africa summit. There are other nations besides Russia that are thinking about supporting Niger. Burkina Faso will be the next nation to fight alongside Niger. Ibrahim Traoré, the leader of Burkina Faso, is the main reason the country is currently popular. In 2022, he overthrew the previous government and became Africa's youngest president. A government that he thought was a puppet of France. Despite the nation's abundance of mineral resources, he says bad governance caused his people to suffer and live in poverty. Things briefly changed after he came to power, and Ibrahim Traoré gained international attention after the Russia-Africa summit by speaking out against the West's exploitation of Africa as a raw material supplier. It's time for Africa to stand up, he says. It's time for Africa to engage in trade agreements that will improve their lives rather than make them poorer. When Niger had a coup, there was a threat from France to attack Niger. Why does France want to attack Niger? Niger is a neighboring country to Burkina Faso, and it is rich in a particular mineral. A mineral France so desperately needs. This mineral powers 1/3 of all homes in France. This mineral is uranium. France desperately needs Niger's uranium, which without it, its people will suffer, especially during cold winters. So when Niger banned the export of its uranium to France, France got angry and decided that it would invade Niger if it threatened its interest in that territory. And that interest so happens to be uranium. Ibrahim Traoré decided to stand by Niger in case it was attacked by France. He knows if Niger gets attacked by France and got conquered, he may be next. So the best position he'd rather find himself in would be to join forces with Niger and stand a better chance of standing off France. Because he knows if Niger were to be conquered, he would be next. Burkina Faso happens to be one of 3 West African countries who agreed to stand with Niger. Add your voice to the total liberation of Africa by leaving a comment in the comments section below. Do not forget to like and subscribe for more informative videos like this one. Let's proceed. Mali is another African nation that has boldly decided to stand in solidarity with Niger. Like Niger, Mali has long been a victim of exploitation, particularly at the hands of France. Mali, a country rich in resources, especially gold, has over 1,000 gold mines and ranks as the 15th largest gold producer in the world. Despite this, France, a country that doesn't produce gold, has the fourth largest gold reserve globally, while Mali shockingly has no significant gold reserve to speak of. This stark contrast highlights the systemic exploitation that has plagued Mali for decades, where the wealth generated from its resources has largely benefited France, leaving Mali itself impoverished. Mali, like Niger, has also experienced political instability. In 2021, the country underwent a military coup, where the Malian military overthrew the government installed under French influence. Under the leadership of Assimi Goïta, the current acting president, Mali has been working to reclaim its sovereignty. One of their boldest moves has been the decision to prohibit gold exports to France, a significant blow to France, given its reliance on Mali's resources to maintain its economic status. This has undoubtedly left France displeased and anxious about the growing resistance from its former colonies. As a neighbor to Niger, Mali understood that standing alone could make it vulnerable to similar external pressures or worse, an invasion. To avoid the same fate as Niger, Mali chose to form a strategic alliance with Niger, Burkina Faso, and a third West African nation, Guinea. Together, these nations represent a united front against foreign interference, particularly from France and Ecowas. Guinea, too, experienced a coup, where Mamadi Doumbouya, the head of the military, seized power and has since pledged unwavering support to Niger, promising to stand by them in case of an invasion. This coalition of West African nations understands that their best chance of resisting foreign aggression lies in unity. Divided they may fall, but together, they stand a stronger chance of defending their sovereignty and defeating any common enemy that seeks to destabilize their region. In a surprising turn of events, Algeria, a North African powerhouse, has also stepped forward to back Niger. Sharing a border with Niger to the north, Algeria has committed to sending armed troops to defend Niger in the event of an assault by France or Ecowas. Algeria's stance is clear. They believe that Niger's internal matters should be resolved by its own people, without external military involvement. They have even warned that if Niger were to be attacked, the country could face a fate similar to Libya, where foreign intervention led to chaos and instability. Some believe that Algeria's support for Niger also has a strategic dimension. Since gaining independence, Algeria has supplied France with oil, gas, and phosphates, forming an uneasy economic relationship. However, with France's declining influence in the region, Algeria may be looking to break free from this dependency and reassert its autonomy. By supporting Niger, Algeria might be seizing the opportunity to distance itself from France and assert its own regional leadership. This growing alliance between Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and Algeria is not just about defending borders. It's about resisting a long history of exploitation and asserting a new era of self-determination for African nations. Their unity sends a powerful message to the world. Africa is rising, and its nations will no longer stand by as their resources, political systems, and futures are controlled by foreign powers. What do you think will happen if France and Ecowas invade Niger? Tell us what you think in the comments section below. We explore the rich history, culture, and the ongoing struggle for sovereignty in Africa. Join us in this important conversation by subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, you're not just staying informed, you're becoming part of a movement dedicated to reclaiming Africa's rightful place on the global stage. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Let's work together to spread knowledge and inspire change. Thanks for watching.